and welcome again to Mindful Yoga. So, I talk about energy following attention. It's really important what we focus on, because what we focus on creates our perception, and our perceptions create our thoughts, and on and on and on. So in yoga, we can deliberately influence our experience by where we place our attention. And that's why we always come back to breath and sensations in the body. You'll hear me say this over and over again, so that we can really withdraw from the external world. And this is our place to practice. So we're going to begin sitting in a nice, comfortable seated position, however that shows up for you. Sitting on your heels or a block or a bolster, legs extended, crossed. You can even start lying down if that's how you prefer. So get supremely comfortable in your seat. If you're sitting on your sits bones, just bring the flesh out from the buttocks a little bit so they're nice and grounded. And feel yourself evenly, your weight evenly distributed on those sits bones. And just let your eyes begin to close. Withdrawing our attention from our day, our morning, our plans, and just beginning to enter the here and the now. And there might be some background noise or thoughts, and just let that be in the background. And just notice that this stillness is there regardless of what's happening around you. Begin to deepen your breath. Just letting the breath gradually deepen, just so we lose the momentum of the mind. We're slowly learning to let our mind be our servant rather than our leader. So breathing in and out, it's effortless coming to this place. It doesn't take years of meditation or deep understanding to come to this truth of ourselves. On your next exhalation, let your shoulders drop further away from your ears. Contract the throat slightly, adding the Ujjayi breath. And just hear that wonderful ocean sound. Let it help to further dissolve any outside distractions. Slowing down to the pace of nature. There's no rush to be anywhere, to do anything. Feel the full exhalations, the sensations in the body of breath, in the chest, the throat, the nose. The cooler air coming in through the nose, filling up the belly, the front, the back, sides, whole rib cage, the back and front of the heart. And then the breath gliding back down. And notice how quickly we shift from our busyness to our true nature that's calm, peaceful, and content. And let's bring the hands together at the heart center. And on an exhalation, let your chin drop slowly down, just a little bit to feel stretch in the back of your neck. Keeping the heart lifting up towards your thumbs, the low back gently pulling in. Again, the shoulders relaxed a little back and down. And feel this sense of reverence towards yourself. Honoring your body for its limitations, honoring its needs, and telling your body you'll move through your practice, paying attention to what it's needing moment by moment. Now let's inhale, slowly lift the chin. And we'll chant the sound of Om together. Let that vibration move through the body and feel the effect. Inhaling deeply. Exhaling fully. And again, inhaling deeply. Allow your hands to float down to your thighs. And keeping this connection, slowly open the eyes with a soft gaze downward. And then we'll slowly and very consciously come to our hands and knees and right into child's pose. You can widen the knees if that feels good. You can place your forehead on your hands, one hand on top of the other, or bringing the arms alongside your body, or maybe placing a block under your forehead if it doesn't quite reach, or a block between the heels. Many ways to modify this pose so you can feel very comfortable. And just breathe through the spine, feel the back broaden, creating more space. Feel the hips settling down, the shoulders relaxed, your eyes, your jaw. On your exhalations, empty out the belly, drawing the navel back into the spine. At the very bottom of the exhalation, feel the pelvic floor pulling up into the body gently. Inhaling, releasing, full breaths. On your next breath, bring the hands forward if they're alongside you. Please come up to tabletop pose. With the hips directly above the knees, shoulders above the wrists. We're going to, also the feet hip width apart. You can curl the toes. We're going to shift the hips back so the hips are halfway between your calf, right about the middle. And keeping them stationary, gently walk the hands forward. And you're going to reach back through the tail without moving further and reach in opposite direction through the fingers. If your shoulders are uncomfortable, widen your hands out to the sides of the mat. Reach back and forward, lengthening your spine. Again, on the exhalations, draw the navel back into the spine. Reach your tail towards your heels and elongate through the spine as you reach through fingertips, out through the crown, and add your Ujjayi Durga Pranayama breath. Stretching and strengthening the muscles along the spine, lengthening, creating space between the vertebrae. Ujjayi Durga Pranayama, keeping us totally focused, inward, calm, and serene in the midst of our pose. On your next full breath, slowly come up, walk your hands back underneath your shoulders. On an exhalation, sit back once again on your heels with the arms forward but elbows soft. And then reaching the arms forward, again long through the fingers, reaching the tail back, but keeping your buttocks on your heels. Spread the fingers nice and wide. Press into the outside of the pinky, the base of the pinky, the base of the first finger, and lift the heel of your hand a little bit and grip a little bit with your fingertips. And an inhalation, pull yourself up, and then plant the heel of the hand down as you shift the hips forward and lifting the heart. Soft elbows. Pull the low back in, lift your heart, gaze, and exhale, pressing yourself back, curling the tail under and coming all the way back onto the heels. Continue this movement on your own, inhaling forward, pull the whole spine forward, feel the low back, that sacrum, that triangle bone at the base of the spine, pulling forward, belly, the chest, and exhaling back. Focus on each vertebra, the movements, the sensations with your breath. Should feel really nice. Just one more time, wherever you are, coming up. And exhaling, coming to tabletop pose. Again, stacking the shoulders above the wrists, so the middle of the wrists would line with the outsides of your shoulders, so they're fairly wide. Spread the fingers again really wide, and again we're going to get that grip, the base of each knuckle. Don't forget the thumb and the first finger. Grip the fingertips a little bit and press down into the mat. Get that nice, good grip. We're going to come into balancing cat. So it's really important that we don't let the belly sag down. As we did before on exhalation, draw the navel in, reach back through the tailbone, out through the crown. We're going to bring the right foot straight back, come onto the ball of the foot. And using the inner right thigh, we're going to raise that leg up, but reaching through the heel. So the toe stays straight down, raising the heel just to hip height. Again, notice if the belly is coming down. We're going to pull it in. And shifting our weight a little to the right hand, we're going to reach the left arm forward, maybe bringing it forward to the mat, get your balance, and then slowly reaching it up, arms alongside the ear, palm facing in, and we're lengthening, pulling the low belly in, reaching through the right heel, out through the left fingers, and breathing deeply. Hold for 3 breaths, lengthen. Reach in opposite directions so you can actually feel those muscles expanding, stretching. Take another deep breath. And this time as you exhale, tuck that right knee to the left elbow. Squeeze out breath. 2 more times. Inhale, reach. And exhale, tuck. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, tuck. Inhale, lower the knee and the left hand. Take a break for a moment. Maybe that right wrist needs to shake out a little bit before we come to the opposite side. Again, curling the toes. Draw the navel in as you exhale. And inhale, bringing the left foot straight back on the ball of the foot. And slowly again, as you inhale, from the inner left thigh, raising that leg up. This way the heel stays up, the toe is down, bringing that heel to hip height. And inhale, switch your weight to the left hand, bring your right hand forward, get your balance. And inhale, slowly raise the right arm up. Stay strong in that left hand, press into the fingers, the base of each finger, and feel that lift from the floor up into your body as you reach in opposite directions. Palm facing in, deep breaths. 2 more. 1 more breath. And exhale, tuck. Squeeze out all that breath. Feel the release. And inhale again, lengthen long.
And exhale, squeeze. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, release. And on exhalation, just come into child's pose, unless there's some other pose that feels right for you. Let your shoulders be nice and heavy. Feel the pressure of your forehead on the mat. This is the third eye. Just let that attention draw you deeper inside. And inhaling our way back up to tabletop pose. Let's take a step forward with the right foot. Right knee's over the ankle, preparing for a low lunge. So we're just kind of rocking forward and back a little bit and getting a sense of both hips squaring towards the front. Good. And we're going to bring the hands to the right thigh and slowly come up. On an exhalation, settle down. Again, pulling the low back in. Squeezing the inner thighs. Pressing firmly into the front foot with a little bit of a pull towards your left knee. And the left knee with a little pull towards your right heel. Navel comes in. We're going to inhale the arms out and up and interlace the fingers at the base of the skull. Maintain your groundedness in this pose, pulling everything in. And also we're going to inhale, lift the chest and pull the whole spine forward as we did before. The low back pulling forward. The whole rib all the way up, letting the head relax back into the hands for support. Widen the elbows now to open the chest a little bit more. All this time breathing deeply, Ujjayi Durga Pranayama. Lifting the heart up towards the sky to lengthen the spine in this back bend. Inhale, come up. And exhale, lower back down. We're going to take a breath here. Let your body relax down. Drop the head. Just pay attention to whatever's present here. Let it come, let it go. Your heartbeat slowing down. And with both hands on the mat, we're going to bring the right foot back a little bit to about halfway. Toes pointing straight out to the side. Keeping the left hand on the mat. Again, we really want to root that down, so spreading the fingers nice and wide. We have the option to keep the left knee on the mat or curling the toes and straightening the leg, coming to a modified plank pose. So let's bring the right hand to the heart. Press that left heel back, lengthen through the crown, press into your left hand to lift up the hips. And on an exhalation, draw the heart slowly up towards the sky. You can turn to the outside of your left foot. Lift the hips up high and extend the right arm up towards the sky. If that doesn't feel right, keep it on your shoulder or your hip. You can bring the hand behind you. But we're opening up the front body here. Pressing into the outside of the left foot, the front foot, the left hand. Get a little more lift. Another deep breath. And exhale slowly. Lower the right hand, the left knee, draw that right foot in, and we'll take a pause in child's pose once again. Set back. Feel your whole body emptying and draining of tension. And the mind just flows through the body with the breath. When you're ready, coming back to tabletop pose. And taking a breath in, this time stepping the left foot forward. Settling your pelvis down a little bit. Feeling where you're feeling tight and where you might need a little movement perhaps. Remember, this is your practice. We're really focusing on our needs, what the body tells us. Good, and settling down. Squaring the hips forward and bringing the hands to the thigh and pressing ourselves up. On an exhalation, sinking down. Pull that right hip forward, squeeze the inner thighs. And again, remember to pull the low back in. You can always bring this left foot back a little bit if you're feeling a strain on your low back. Good. Belly comes in. We're lengthening now as we press into that left foot, bringing the left heel towards the right knee towards the left heel. Feel the strength there. And we'll inhale again, bring the arms out and up. And exhale, interlace the fingers, place the hands at the base of the skull. And on your next inhalation, drawing the low back forward, the whole spine coming forward and up. So feel the lift. So you're pressing into the feet, the knee, opening the heart more by widening the elbows. Lift your gaze, feel your head fully supported in your hands. A lot of strength required to hold here, so add your Ujjayi breath. Smile, that helps. And inhale, come up. And exhale, slowly come back down. And again, allow your head to relax down. Let your whole body melt. Little pause. A moment to reflect, to come back, to be here. Good, and as we did before, we're going to bring the left foot out to the left about halfway. Really planting down that right hand so we can get a good lift. Curling the right toes under, keeping the knee on the mat or straightening, you have that option. And as we inhale, lift the hips, pressing into that left foot and that right hand, and bringing the left arm straight up or to the heart first to open. And again, maybe bringing the outside of that right foot down to the mat. Inhale, lift your hips as you bring the heart forward and up, and bring the arm up or in any position that feels right for you. Press that mat away with your right hand. Lift your hips. Press into the outside of that right foot. Reach in opposite directions from the right hand to the left, and feel a soft, gentle smile at the corner of your mouth. And breathe. Once more, deep belly, ribs, and chest. And exhale, slowly float that left hand down. The right knee, the left knee comes back in. And again, anything that feels good. Sit back, maybe in child's pose. Again, just a pause for centering, for feeling the effects. Letting energy fully circulate and calm. And inhaling, coming up slowly to tabletop. I'm going to turn this direction. We're going to step the right foot forward, nice and wide on the mat, right on the outside. Curl the left toes under, step the left foot forward, again nice and wide on the mat. And let your upper body fold forward. Bend the knees as much as you need. We want the belly closely in contact with the thighs. Let the tail just lift up. Be sure your head and neck is really loose. It's helpful to nod up and down, sway back and forth. You can let your weight shift from one foot to then the other. Deepening the breath here, letting all tension flow out of the body. Really lovely inversion to decompress the vertebra, again to create length and space inside the body. And we're going to bend the knees, bring the hands to the mat, come up halfway, maybe bringing the hands to the shins. Long spine, shoulders back, reaching through from tail through crown. And on an exhalation, let the knees again bend as the torso folds over. Press into the big toe mounds and feel the inner thighs spiraling back a little bit, and send your hips up high, the tail reaching up towards the sky. As the crown of the head reaches straight down, we're not trying to reach the forehead to the knees, but just having the momentum of reaching it down towards the earth. The knees can be as bent as needed. Protect your low back. Pay attention to what its needs are. And inhaling again, bend the knees. Bring the hands to the hips, elbows in and back. Press into your feet as you inhale. Come up with a neutral spine. Step the feet closer together. Close your eyes. Just feeling, just being empty, open, spacious, relaxed, alert, connected. Connected to the higher self that we are. So we're going to practice some arm exercises that are good for the chest and back that counteract the forwardness that we all tend to come into as we get older. I know I do that. So we need always to open here. So we're going to bring the arms out and up. The feet can be hip width apart or whatever feels good. Toes forward, basically in your mountain pose. So we're rooted in the feet. Reach out through the fingers. This is like a Y shape. And we're going to take a deep breath in. And as we exhale, we're going to press the arms back. Keep inhaling and exhaling, widening. Reach through the fingers even more. Get long through the arms and just feel in your body where the stretch is. You might feel it in the front chest, near the shoulders. You may feel something between the shoulder blades, in your back. And just breathe into it. Giving a little time to open. One more deep breath. And exhale, slowly lower the arms. Roll the shoulders. Good. We're going to do something similar, which is going to stretch a different set of muscles. So we're going to bring the arms out and then bend the elbows. So now we're kind of in the shape of a W. So again, we're going to take a breath in, lengthen, and widen as we exhale. Press the elbows back. And notice if your front spine is coming forward. We want to keep the low back coming down and the tail in. Squeezing the inner thighs just a little bit. The buttocks are firm. And keep breathing, pressing the elbows back. Relax the shoulders down. If they're starting to come up to your ears, wiggle them down. And just press back to where you can. Spread the fingers wide. And just follow your breath. Nice Ujjayi Dirga Pranayama. Ocean 3-part breath. One more. And exhale, slowly release down. And again, roll the shoulders. So we're really feeling that now, a little bit in the shoulders. And let your body do whatever feels good to let go of any tension there. Good, so we're going to do another set. We're going to inhale this time, bring the arms out, straight out. So we're in a T position. Spread the fingers wide, palms are forward. Press into your feet, lengthen as we inhale. And exhale, begin to press the arms back. Go slow, no need to rush. Take those next breaths to open, to exhale, to relax and widen. Good, intentional breaths. Influencing our experiencing by where we place our attention. Sometimes we might focus on the feeling with some judgment and begin to say, I don't like this. And just notice. Take another breath in. And exhale, release down. Now feel that release. It feels so wonderful. The greater the hold or intensity of the pose, the greater the release. So enjoy that. It can be blissful. So that energy releases and floods in the body. So we do have one more. So we're going to bring our elbows into the body and hands back. So now this is more of the shape of an L. You can see the two L shapes. Okay. So pressing into the feet, inhale, lengthen, and exhale, press the hands back. So now we're working different sets of muscles in each of these poses. So feel now where the stretch is, where the strongest sensation is. And where our attention goes, energy flows. Energy always follows attention. So just feel, be, and breathe. One more deep breath. And exhale, release everything down. Shake it out. Nice deep breath in. And exhale, let it go. And just feel the residual effects in the upper body, the shoulders, the chest, the arms. So now we're going to bring the feet about hip width apart, a little bit less, maybe 2 or 3 inches apart, spreading the toes as we do in mountain pose. Coming to a back bend. So we're going to use one of those arm positions we just did in the L position, or the W position would be good. So we're going to bring the elbows up to shoulder height approximately. Press into the feet, inhale, lengthen, spread the elbows back, and pull the whole spine forward and up. So you're pulling the low back in, you're lifting the navel, the spine comes forward, we lift the heart, and we're not dropping the head back, but lengthening all the way up as we press everything forward. And we press the elbows back. It's a lovely back bend. Notice your feet, if they're beginning to bring the weight to the outside or insides. Find that balance. All 4 corners of the feet. Press down and lengthen even more. Lift. Deep breaths. One more. And exhale, slowly release. And close your eyes or soften the eyes. Just feel. Letting go. When you're ready, let your eyes just float open. We're going to come to the front of our mats, preparing for warrior pose with a little added balance pose. So let's stand with our feet hip width apart. Bring the hands to the hips, elbows in and back. Standing tall in mountain, pressing down into the feet, extending straight up through the spine. Gaze is soft and forward. Taking a deep breath in and exhaling, stepping back with the right foot straight back. Adjust your stance. Feet are hip width apart, all toes forward. You're on the ball of the right foot. Coming maybe to a vertical, bending the knee and coming upright. Remember mountain pose, and as always, low buttocks pulled down and in. And then beginning to press into that rear heel to straighten the leg or not. Squeeze the inner thighs, press down and back. Inhaling the arms out and all the way up. Press firmly down into both feet, and from that rear heel, lengthen away and up through the spine. Keep squeezing those inner thighs, the outer hips pull in, the belly comes in, and we lift off the pelvis, reaching up through the fingers or any arm position that feels right for you. And I'll take a deep breath in. And exhale, we're going to lower the arms, bring the elbows into the body, lean forward. We're going to draw that right foot up and slowly drag it up to a balancing position. Bringing the hands to the heart. Pressing firmly into that left foot to draw the left hip in, to lengthen. And if you're wobbling, it's okay. The toe can touch the ground, or maybe you can lift it higher, and perhaps you can even begin to straighten that right leg. One more breath in, and exhale. If it's straight, bend the knee, lower the foot, lower the arms, and just let the eyes close for a moment. Just let it go. And it's okay if that was challenging. We need to have challenges in our lives and examine ourselves there during those challenges when we're at our edge. And opening the eyes when you're ready, preparing for the other side, feet hip width. Hands on the hips, standing tall, gaze forward, deep breath in. And exhale, stepping straight back with the left foot. All toes forward. Hips square to the front and then bending the back knee, coming vertical. Upper buttocks down and in, squeezing the outer hips and inner thighs, and then reaching back through that left heel. Sometimes we have a tendency to come more to the outside of that left foot, so maybe press a little bit more on the inside of that left foot, maybe a little bit more on the inside of the right foot. Keep the low back pulling in, the belly in, rooted in the front foot, pressing into the rear heel, inhaling now the arms out and up. All the way up into warrior pose. Stay grounded. Press firmly down, back into that rear heel, and from there, reaching up. Breathe deeply as you hold. Remember, you can keep that back knee bent. Notice your eyes. Soften your eyes, your jaw. One more breath. And exhale, slowly lower the hands, let them come behind you. Lean forward, step off that left foot, drag it up, and slowly come to balancing on this side. Hands to the heart. Find your position, maybe bringing the knee higher. Remember to root down in that right foot to pull the right hip in and lengthen on the right side. Mountain pose on that right side. And then maybe extending that leg forward. Keep the shoulders relaxed. Keep your breath smooth, deep, and steady to capture the mind, to keep it still, keep it from wandering. Always wants to do that. One more breath. And exhale, bend the knee, lower the foot, release your arms, and just dive into this bliss of energy and freedom and space. When you're ready, coming back, opening eyes. Let's take a nice wide stance, preparing for Trikonasana, triangle pose. So have your blocks handy, about in the position where I have mine. So first, starting with the toes facing in, upper buttocks down and in, so we get a little bit of that pelvic tilt, right? Press into both feet, energize the legs. Lift up through the pelvic floor, up through the spine and crown. We're going to take a breath in, turn the left toes to the left. I'm mirroring you here without tilting the torso. Keep the torso vertical and facing this direction. Turning the right toes in a little bit. The left heel in line with the right arch. Good. So remember to keep the hips level for now. So we're going to take a nice breath in, bring the arms out to the sides. And as we exhale, we're going to begin to reach to the left. This left hip is going to drop down and my right hip is shifting to the right. As I reach through the left fingers, reaching as far as you can go. And then taking a nice breath when you found your edge, lowering your hand to that block on the outside of your left foot and bringing the right arm up. Now we're pressing the right shoulder back. Feel your inner left thigh spiraling up and the left buttock dropping underneath you as your right sits bone reaches towards your right heel. You're straightening that right leg nice and strong and reaching up as you press into your hand, opening the chest forward and up. Deep breaths. And now coming into another balancing pose, our very challenging one. This is nice, another challenge. Half moon pose, Ardha Chandrasana. We're going to bend the right knee, bring our left hand to the hip, keep the torso forward, drag that left foot forward a little bit, bring that block about a foot in front of your right foot and over to the right a little bit. Take a nice breath in, again, spiraling that inner left thigh up. Drop that left buttock underneath you and hold that there with the right knee forward. And begin to shift your weight to the right foot, bringing the left foot maybe coming off the mat, maybe not. So it might stay right there, or you might lift it. And you can gaze down at the floor to start. I'm losing my balance today. Sorry. And bringing the left hip back, reach through the left heel. Keep bringing that left buttock underneath you, opening the heart up to the sky, and bringing the left arm up towards the sky. The right arm, excuse me. So you're pressing into your left hand in the block, reaching up to the right, and you may not be in this full expression of the pose. That's okay. Take another breath. Exhale, bend that left knee, right hand to your hip, lower your right foot down, and slowly come back up. Turning the left foot to the front. And pause. Maybe step the feet back together. Breathe, feel, and just find the freedom in this release. And opening the eyes, letting go of anticipation for the other side. I know it's challenging. We're going to do that on the other side. So again, let the feet open wide. All toes forward to start. So we're going to now press into the feet, lengthen up through the pelvic floor and through the crown, and turn the right toes out to the right. Left foot in part way. Right heel would intersect left arch. Torso forward. Hips are level. We're not leaning. Good. So again, we're going to spiral that inner right thigh up towards the sky. The right up buttock is tucking underneath. Inhale the arms out to the sides, and exhale, slowly begin to reach to the right. Shift that left hip as far to the left as you can, as you reach in the opposite direction with your right fingers. Have that block handy, because when you find your edge, without changing your spine position, we're just going to lower the right hand to the block, the outside of that right foot. Keep that right buttock tucked underneath your tail, reaching towards your left heel, left shoulder opening, and that left arm coming right up towards the sky. Strong in that left leg. Press firmly into the right hand as you reach up with the left, spiraling the heart up higher towards the sky. Good. And now again, preparing for our challenging pose, Ardha Chandrasana, lowering the left hand to the hip, bending that right knee, walking the block forward, scooching up your left foot a little bit. So that block is about a foot forward and out to the right a little bit. Shifting the weight onto the right foot, slowly coming up. Drag that left foot. Keep that left hip opening to the front as we draw that leg up. That right inner thigh spiraling up, scooping the right buttock underneath you, reaching again your tail towards your left heel, bringing the left shoulder back, flexing the left ankle, and maybe bringing that left arm right up towards the sky. Smile and breathe. And one more breath. As you exhale, lower your hand to your hip, bend your right knee, bring your left foot back down, press yourself up, turn your foot in, step the feet back together, and just close your eyes. Let go of whatever struggles may have come up, and let it be. Just be this. And then we'll open our eyes, ready for our next pose. So please take your blocks and bring them to the side of your mat. We're going to come to a nice wide leg forward fold. So we're going to place them down at our lowest height.
And we're going to take a nice wide stance. Turn the toes in. So they can be pretty much facing forward. You're going to feel pigeon-toed. Strong in your feet now, rooted down. Again, pulling up through the legs so the legs are strong, lifting up through the pelvic floor, through the spine and crown. Upper buttocks down and in. Shoulders nice and wide, chest expanded. We're going to take a deep breath in with the hands on the hips, elbows back. And exhale, press the hips back as the torso comes forward. Good. Let your knees bend wherever they need to bend. If they need to come down, do that. So your blocks are here. You can place your hands on your blocks. Drop your head down. Lift your tail up. Shift your weight slightly towards the balls of your feet. You may or may not need a block here, but we're going to use them for sure in just a moment. Again, press a little more into the big toe mound, spiraling the inner thighs back. Feel the tail lifting higher and the crown of the head reaching even further down. And then inhale, press into your hands on the floor or blocks, come up halfway, reach the heart through. And as we exhale, we're going to slide the blocks forward. Make sure you have enough room here. We're reaching the tail back and pressing the arms forward like we did in puppy pose. Keep the toes forward. You can widen the hands if you need to for your shoulders. You're reaching back through your tail and extending through the whole spine, reaching through the fingertips. Feet are rooted into the mat. Big toe mounds pressing in, inner thighs spiraling back, the tail reaching back, the thighs lifting, whole spine long, breathing in and out, belly, ribs, chest. Hold for 2 more breaths. Lengthen even more. Focus on that length. Keep the pressure in your feet. Relax your eyes, your jaw. And on your next inhalation, you can slowly walk your hands back with the blocks. Good. And bend your knees. Bring your hands onto your hips and slowly rise up. Heel toe the feet together and step your feet together. And I'm going to set these aside. And just take a moment again to simply receive that beautiful forward fold and reach and lengthen the spine. Should feel wonderful after our Trikonasana pose and Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. Good. And let your eyes open. And bring yourself down onto your mat, sitting on the heels if that's comfortable. Maybe placing a block between your ankles. Tops of the feet as best you can on the mat. Hands on your thighs and sitting nice and tall. Remember, if this is not a comfortable position, just find another position where you can have a straight spine. Let your eyes close, shoulders relax down, and take all your attention inside. Awareness on breath, your heartbeat, the aliveness in the body and stillness. And here we can bring our attention to the point between the brows, the third eye, which is the doorway to meditative awareness. As you bring your attention to the third eye, notice your eyes magnetically are drawn upward, and let your attention go a little deeper inside the skull. Eyes stay soft, jaws relaxed. And slowly, very slowly, when you feel ready, please come down onto your belly. So just bring the arms forward. You can rest one palm on top of the other. Rest your forehead on your hands for just a moment.
You can focus on the breath in the low back and accentuating and exaggerating the effect and expansionness of breath, releasing tension in the low back, letting the muscles soften. And then please bring your arms forward. Reach back with one foot and the other to get really nice and long. A little bit of that spiraling of the inner thighs up here to level and rest the hips down. We're going to draw the hands up toward us just a little bit. We're going to inhale and exhale. Let the pubic bone rest down into the mat. And as we inhale, we're going to lengthen through the right foot and reach through the left fingers and then lift. Focus on the length and then lift. So it's a 50% reach, a 50% lift. Again, the inner right thigh spirals up. It doesn't matter how high the leg comes. We don't want the foot coming out. We want the heel straight up, toes back. Reach, let the belly come through, let the heart come through. Again, your whole spine pressing forward and up. One more breath, and exhale, let it go. Relax your forehead down on your hands. And coming to the other side, again, reaching the legs back, inner thighs spiral up. Reach through the arms and just draw the arms towards you a little bit. Lift up your head. And another deep breath in. Reach back through the left toes, forward through the right fingers. Get a good reach. And inhale, lift everything up. Keep reaching. Lift by the inner left thigh of that left foot, or left leg, excuse me. Lengthen, 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 lift. Again, pulling the whole spine forward and up. Feel that sensation. Hold, breathe, and exhale, release. Lower your forehead to your hands. Again, melt into your mat. Let go. And when you're ready, we're going to bring the forehead to the mat. Legs strong behind you, lengthening each leg. Pubic bone grounded. And we're going to place the hands on the low back with the fingertips pointing towards your heels. We're going to do an exercise that's very strengthening and really, really nice for our sacral joints. Strengthening and stretching. So we're going to reach back through the toes. We're going to root the pubic bone down into the mat as we exhale. And inhale, begin to lift the forehead, the chin, the chest. And then exhale, lower down. Inhale again, lift forehead, chin, chest. Exhale, lower down. Next time we're going to lift and hold. Inhale. And then reach through the toes and raise them up. And on an inhalation, we're going to widen the feet. We may have done this last week. And exhale, bring the feet together. Stay lifted. Inhale, widen. Exhale, bring them together. Keep the pubic bone pressing down, the heart lifting. Inhale, open, reaching. Exhale, close. Again, inhale, open. Exhale, close. Hold. Inhale, reach. And exhale, slowly release. Bring your arms to wherever it feels good. And let go. Relax. And bringing our hands beside our chest, pressing up to the knees and back onto the heels again in child's pose. Feel your low back here. Let this be really nice to release tension from our back bends. Again, send all your attention with breath into the very bottom of the spine, the whole low back. And notice if you still might be holding tension somewhere else, maybe the shoulders. Let them be really heavy. And then a nice breath, slowly come up. And we'll shift our hips to one side and bring the legs forward. We're going to come into Dandasana pose or staff pose. So if you're feeling, you don't have a lot of strength in your core and low back, it's really nice to sit on a block here to get some lift. So please grab your block and do that. I'm not going to do it with the block today. So we want to bring the flesh out from each buttock so we're grounded in the sits bones. Bring the feet together, knees together, inner thighs spiral down, the legs are active and grounded. Pressing out through the balls of the feet. And inhale, pull the low back in. Again, the whole spine coming forward. The heart lifts, not the low ribs, just lifting the heart, shoulders back and down. And if this is at all challenging, bring your hands to your sides to keep yourself nice and tall. If you're sitting on a block, you may need something to hold on to, or maybe your fingertips can reach. So use that momentum of the fingertips on the mat to pull the low back in, to lift the heart up, to lengthen all the way up. Remember to keep the legs nice and active. And see if you can hold here now. And inhale, release your arms and sweep them slowly up. If you begin to lose that control, that strength, and the spine begins to round back, then please keep your hands on the mat. Okay, otherwise we'll reach the arms up. Lengthen from tail through crown, breathe deeply. I remember a time when this was extremely challenging for me, so I know how it can be. So please protect yourself, protect your low back, keep pulling it forward. Take another breath, and exhale, slowly release the arms down, stay tall. And then inhale, release. And let's bring our legs over to the left. So you've got your left ankle, I'm mirroring you, you've got your left ankle in the sole of your right foot. Sitting on your right buttock, not completely on the left. We're going to bring the right hand, the back of the hand to the shin or the calf, left hand behind the hip. Pressing into the left fingers, we're going to inhale, lengthen, and exhale, we're going to twist to the left. Pressing that right hand into that left leg, opening the chest, bringing the left shoulder back. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen as you inhale. Exhale, softening into the twist, gazing left if that feels right. Full breaths. And inhale, slowly unwind. We're going to walk our hands over to the right and bring this right shin parallel to the front of your mat. Bringing the left knee closer if you need to. So this is a modified pigeon pose. So do the best you can. We're going to take a breath in and exhale, walk our hands forward. Remember, if you need to bring this knee closer, that's fine. You might be able to bring it further back. Whatever feels right for you, maybe coming down onto the elbows, but remember you can use your blocks as well. You might be here or you might be up here. So no struggles. It's our main intention of our practice to let go of struggles, be at ease with what is, be mindful of our movements in our body, our breath, and our thoughts. Redirecting our attention over and over again to our thoughts, to our breaths. Notice if you can relax somewhere here, the right hip. If you need to adjust. Then your inhalation slowly come up. Notice what you feel. Go slowly, no rush. Bring the legs back up. And we'll shift our hips to the other side. Again, resting the right ankle on the sole of the left foot. Bringing the back of the left hand to the outside of the right shin or calf. Right fingertips behind your right hip. Inhale, press into your fingertips, lengthen. And exhale, begin your twist to the right. Pressing that left hand into that leg there to help bringing the right shoulder back. And the gaze gradually follows the twist, looking to the right. Your right hip is not on the ground or your right sits bone, but try to have that momentum of bringing that right sits bone down. Find your Ujjayi breath. And on your next breath in, slowly unwind, coming back to center. Walking the hands now over to the left and bringing the left shin parallel to the front of your mat. On a nice breath in, exhaling, simply walking forward. Again, modifying in any way that you need to. No need to come down at all. You may be up or you may come down further. Let everything soften on your exhalation. Notice any restrictions, any gripping. And just let all your attention flow with breath. Inhaling all the way back up. And coming back to center. Coming to about the middle of your mat. Hands behind the thighs. Inhale, roll the shoulders back, lift the chest. Whole spine again comes forward. Simple back bend, lift the gaze. And exhale, let the tail begin to tuck underneath you, lowering down one vertebra at a time. Until you come all the way down on the mat. Bend your knees, feet as wide as the mat. Let your arms come out to the sides and let your knees rock side to side. This always feels so good to me. If this is nice to you, please do that. If there's something else you think would feel better, you're perfectly free to do that. Let's walk the feet closer together. Bring the arms to your sides and straighten out your left leg. Keeping the ankle flexed, reach through the heel. The toes are straight up towards the sky. Keep your left hand on your left hip. Pick up your right foot and take your hand behind your right thigh or onto your shin, ankle, or the outside of the foot. If your left hip begins to lift and it's uncomfortable, just go ahead and bend that left knee, placing the foot on the mat. Otherwise, keep that hand there to keep that hip down, reaching through the heel. Bring the ankle directly above your right knee. Keep your chin a little tucked, shoulders underneath, and as you exhale, pull the foot straight down. Half happy baby pose. The right knee doesn't come way out to the side, coming down into the armpit. And breathe, soften, no forcing. Again, nowhere to go. Every body is completely different, so honor where you're at. We just want to feel good. On your next breath, you can release the right foot, bend the left knee, maybe rock a little bit on your low back. And then we're going to straighten out the right leg and place your left hand anywhere on the left leg, maybe the sole of the foot on the outside, ankle above the knee. Reach through the right heel, leg is strong. Hand on your hip, maybe bending that knee, otherwise straight if the hip remains relaxed down. And on exhalation, drawing that foot straight down towards your armpit. Right above the knee. Don't forget your breath. That steady breath keeps a steady mind. We begin to resist entering into the mind's chatter and begin to enjoy the simplicity of the here and the now. And next inhalation, release that left foot down to the mat. Bend both knees. Let's bring the arms out in a T position. Lift up the feet. Bring the knees and feet together. Flex the ankles. Press through both heels and the balls of both feet. On an in-breath, breathe into the belly, ribs, chest. And on exhalation, keeping everything squeezed together, slowly bring the knees over to the left. You can keep them tucked way in. Press through the balls and heels of the feet. You can place a block underneath you if you don't come all the way down. Keeping both shoulders on the mat. And then inhale, come up. You can take the block with you. Keep the knees and feet squeezed together and exhale, pressing through the balls and heels of the feet, shifting over to the right. And again, placing that block there for support if needed. Face is relaxed, jaw is relaxed. Pulling the knees up into the chest. Inhale, come up. Place your hands on your knees and just make very small circles with your knees to massage your low back, going both directions. And when you feel complete, we'll lower the feet to the mat, prepare for Shavasana, stretch out the legs, arms out away from your body, maybe get a good stretch. Inhaling and exhaling it all out, let it go. Just follow your breath. Feel the body relaxing as you breathe. Your breath simply finding you. The energy flowing in the body and coming down into the earth. Expanding out beyond your physical body. Feeling open, spacious, and expansive. Letting go of any limitations of the mind. Being at peace with yourself as you are, and with the world as it is. Relax, let go. in this relaxed place, feeling the softness of your breath. Add a very, very soft Ujjayi breath. Tighten the throat just a little bit. Feel the slow passage of breath. Let the breath deepen. And continue to breathe slowly. Stretch out the arms, wiggle the fingers, stretch out your legs, reach through the toes. Maybe reaching the arms overhead. And then maybe bending the knees into the chest and coming into a little ball, giving yourself a nice hug. And then releasing, coming onto your side. And pressing yourself slowly up, back to a seated position. Take your time. If you have enough time, feel free to stay in Shavasana as long as you like. And just taking a quick moment to check in. How do you feel? How have things shifted? What has stayed the same? And just letting everything be as it is. With contentment in your heart, bring the hands together to the heart. Please join me as we chant the sound of Om, closing our practice for today. Let's inhale deeply, lengthen through the spine. Exhale fully. And inhale deeply. Jai Bhagwan. Jai Bhagwan. Victory to your divinity. Thank you once again for joining me in Mindful Yoga.